all you beautiful people on a lovely Sunday, early evening. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm really excited about today. It's not often that I get to try a brand of Irish whiskey that I've never had any of it before. So this is going to be a huge amount of fun for me. And I hope it is for you guys as well. It'll give you information about this brand. It is in the US. So let's see who's all in here. Slancha Major Zero, it is good to see you. Cheers, Chris Jenkins. Cheers, Sugar Kitty. Me out of you as well. Hey, Eric Gunderson. It is good to see you. Slapshot Roadhouse. Slapshot, drop your link in here. If you're not subscribed to Slapshot, make sure you check him out. I love watching his woodworking. It's amazing, the stuff that he makes. Hey, cheers, James Morgan. I can't guess what the mystery dram might be on any clues which part of Ireland. We're going to be drinking from Sligo tonight, or outside of Sligo. Just outside of Sligo, I believe. And Andrew Butler, thank you for joining us. Scotch Down Under sent me. Did I really say that? He's still on? Holy crap. Hey, cheers, Christine. I'm looking forward to seeing Christine here in just a few weeks for Bourbon on the Banks. Cheers, John Matlick. I think I got everybody. Mr. Vasco, the other Vasco. Cheers, Mark. All right, so I am going to bring my guests out. These guys are just super, super awesome people that were so kind to send me these samples of this whiskey. So help me welcome Troy and Laura from Baker Drinks. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you so much for sending this stuff to me. I'm really super excited to try it.
Well, how's your Redbreast that you're starting with?
Yeah, let me know in chat what you guys are drinking. I use Redbreast 12 as kind of like my control whiskey. It's a low ABV, and I've had it so many times. I know what it tastes like. Oh, perfect. There's one of my favorite Irishmen. Cheers, Cool Running, Slancha. And yeah, Ken is going for almost 10 hours now. Wow.
That is insane. I don't think I ever even want to try to do that.
No, unless you guys all want to see me taking a nap. I don't think that would be very good entertainment, but that's the most you're going to get out of me in 10 hours.
Yeah, we did 3.5 hours once, and it hurt.
It was too much.
If one of my mods could please drop the link to Baker Drinks, make sure you guys are all subscribed to these guys. I love watching you guys. It's so much fun. I was lurking last night, and I try to catch, and some of them I just have to lurk in the background when my husband's playing video games. But
yeah, that's
always a good time.
We do a lot of lurking too.
So tonight we are drinking. You guys have sent me samples of Aru Irish whiskey.
Yes.
And this one was I even had to look up the pronunciation because it looks like Athru, and it's actually, I think it's Ahru, and it's one of those weird ones to pronounce.
I had to do the same thing. I think I did a video that said I got the bottles and I pronounced it like Athru or something like that. And then I looked it up afterwards and was like, it was not even close.
It's tricky. It is tricky. A lot of Irish Gaelic words are not how you would pronounce them as how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They make a lot of interesting sounds with their mouth.
Yeah.
I just can't reproduce.
I hit up a lot of my Irish friends on how to pronounce things quite a bit.
Google has been working for me.
We're going to start with the Aru Anacuna. This is a 14-year single malt, 48% ABV, and this is matured in PX and Oloroso sherry casks. And I love your little labels on here. Those are so cute.
Oh, thank you.
They're awesome.
But yeah, the bottles are just beautiful on these.
Oh, wait, let me solo you here so we can see these bottles, because you guys start looking for this stuff. It is in the US.
Yeah,
And
it comes in a
beautiful
box.
packaging.
You know, it's kind of like a book. Has a little story in there.
I love the packaging on this. I love that it also has kind of an Irish fable in it as well. Because I think one of them was the Legend of Cormac, and one of them was a little like with Diarmuid and I can never think of how to pronounce her name. But yeah, it's tricky. It's really cool. I will say they have stepped up the packaging really, really nice. So this is a newer distillery for those of you who might not know. This one, I think I read that they just started, they got their stills in there. I think it was 2018, 19. When they started producing whiskey. So this is 14 years. This is sourced. I was not able to find out where they sourced it from. I know their 7-year malt. I found it was sourced actually from the Shed, which produces Drumshanbo.
Oh.
So that's different. This I'm guessing I would think it's Bushmills or Great Northern. I don't think it's Cooley, but I haven't tried it yet, so you never know.
You know, I don't know enough about Irish whiskey to have any idea. So it doesn't say on the bottle, so I don't know.
So this is made at the distillery is called Loch Gill, which I have a picture of the distillery. It's beautiful, beautiful distillery. And the main building is actually the house is being restored. So this is the house in the foreground there is completely being restored. And you can actually follow the progress on the Loch Gill website. And again, it's Gaelic, so Loch is Lough. And then the large building behind is the actual production facility for the distillery. And that they used to make yarn there. And then VHS tapes, like well past the point that anybody should have still been making VHS tapes. That's what they were doing there. So it looked like the distillery went through a few hands and to get capital to make this gorgeous distillery. And then as we found out, I'm like, well, this is a newer brand of Irish whiskey. How's it in the US? And you guys found out too, because they got bought by Sazerac.
Mm-hmm.
So they still, Loch Gill still has the rights to the brand and makes all the decisions, but they're not owned by, they're owned by Sazerac still. Sazerac still's, they're the ones putting up the change. So that's how it got over here. So they're able to jump on their, distribution channels, which is really nice because that way we get more whiskey over here.
Yeah. And as you're about to find out, this stuff's pretty fantastic.
I told you, I've heard good things. So I kind of hit up a few people I know over there and asked them, because I knew that they had tried it. I'd seen pictures and they had nothing but good things to say. So I'm excited to try this. The color on this is really, really nice. Really nice dark gold color. Ooh. So do you ever smell a whiskey and you think, man, I wish that was a candle that I could put and buy and put in my house?
I never have thought of that, but my house would smell really good.
This is one. I want this to be at Bath and Body Works so I could buy it and put it in my house. Nope, never, you liar, because we talked about it.
Yeah, it would be a tropical fruity candle. That would be nice.
Oh, I see. I get some floral on this. I get
a little of that too.
Yeah, I'm getting some orange. I rate whiskey based on candle abilities. There are so many times when I do that. I smell a whiskey. I'm like, man, why can't that be a candle? I would love to smell that all the time.
I kind of think Amberana finished whiskeys smell like a candle.
Yeah, I don't, but that's fine. They smell more like a spice cake to me.
I haven't smelled a whole lot of this, but the nose is delicate. I get kind of like orange and some rose water.
You're much better at this than we are.
I'm getting some of the oakiness coming through as well.
I get like honeydew melon.
Yeah, I could see honeydew on this. There's some honeydew. I definitely could still get the cast too. I'm getting the oakiness. But I'm getting kind of it reminds me, I have Bushmills 20 year that's finished in vermouth, and that one you get a real distinct rose water note. And this is the first one I've ever smelled that reminds me of that.
Maybe that's a clue.
It might be, yeah. That is very good.
Wow.
That's Oloroso. That Oloroso is just so nice.
What you
I
looking
still get a little bit of the floral, but I'm getting almond big time.
Yeah, we don't drink enough Irish whiskey, so I struggle with the notes of what.
I don't think anybody drinks enough Irish whiskey.
Well, yeah, it might be the one. My husband probably says, yeah, I do. You know, and I mean, the thing about it, the possibility of it being Bushmills, that they're actually the master blender now at Ahru, or at Loch Gill, is Helen Mulholland. She was previously master blender at Bushmills before Alex Thomas took over. So they've got some big names there. They were also using Billy Walker, and he got brought in as a consultant, master distiller consultant. And a lot of people might recognize him from Glendronach or Glenallachie. He's mostly known for Scotch. Actually, I don't know if he's known outside of Scotch at all, but they brought him over as a consultant.
Oh.
Yeah, some heavy hitters.
Yeah. Major Zero. These are all 48% alcohol.
Drinks really nice. First, the finish is a nice length too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that first sip finished a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going. That's a really nice length to finish.
And
The nose was kind of delicate, and I'm glad the palate actually delivers so much more.
Yeah, that oak shines through. That 14 years in the barrel shines through on the finish for sure.
It really does. And on the nose, I wasn't getting as much of that Oloroso, but on the palate, I do.
Mhm.
And I think if I read, it was actually it was aged in the Oloroso casks as well as finished in them. I think a portion of it was.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the details. So I was really into it when we first got it, and then I haven't really researched it since then. Actually, when we first got it, we were looking up everything about it. Their website's completely different now. And it was originally supposed to be so this is a series, but it's like series 1 or something. And then they were supposed to like release an older 3-part series and another, but maybe financial struggles is why they switched, and now I see like single barrels and small batches, but not these series anymore.
They did a release for I think it was Billy Connolly's or Thomas Connolly's bar in Ireland too. They did an actual like a bar single barrel release.
Wow.
Because some friends of mine over there had that, and I didn't really know enough about the brand to jump on that one. But I like Andrew. Cheers, AMSR whiskey. I like your notes here. If you're drinking Irish whiskey and pick out notes, just say green apple and honey, and no one will look at you like an idiot. I always tell people like apple and shortbread cookie, then people think you know what you're talking about.
with a little bit of copper penny.
Yeah. Cheers, Gandy Road. I saw Gandy Road come in here. Top Dog. Cheers to it. So the one that this actually reminds me of, which isn't a single malt, is Redbreast Listeau. And that one is also an Oloroso finished whiskey. So I'm getting kind of similar, the almond notes on there.
That makes sense.
There's a nice little spice going on here too that kind of balances out that sweetness.
Yeah. It's a solid pour. I really
yeah,
like
I would buy a bottle of this.
Yeah, we originally bought 2 of them, and then we went home, tried them, and we're like, oh, we like these so much, we have to get the third one. We got to get the full series. So then we went back the next day and got the 3rd bottle.
Yeah.
I've been known to do that. Yeah. I've been known to also start into a series, like I'm into one now, and I'm like, well, I guess it's okay, but now I'm committed. I've got this many. Now I got to get them on. I guess I'll keep buying it.
Yeah, and we drank these pretty heavily at first. Like I said, up till about St. Patrick's Day. I mean, there's half the bottle gone, maybe a little more than half. And we just got these in January, so.
Well, this was perfect timing because next week is halfway to St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we
I'm
go.
going to be I'm going to be doing another pub style for halfway. We're just going to party for halfway to St. Patrick's Day. It is a
that
thing.
sounds
Like I've literally got plans all weekend next weekend to celebrate the different
fun.
Irish organizations and Irish clubs, and it doesn't take much for us to look for a reason to celebrate anything.
I have no complaints about that. I like a reason to celebrate.
This just gets better and better the more I go back to this.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little more of the honey as I go back to it as well. That honey note.
Yeah, there's definitely something sweet happening in there now that it's been in the glass a little bit. So is 14 years like a pretty average age for Irish?
Kind of, but 3 years is the minimum. And there are some distilleries that are releasing a lot of young whiskey, but they're doing it well, so it doesn't really taste young. Usually about probably 12 years. It seems like there's a lot of 12-year releases. At Powers John's Lane, it's not stated on there, but it's 12 years. Redbreast 12, obviously. So there's Bushmills has a 12. They're typically 14. You don't really see a huge amount of 14. I don't know why. It's just they've settled on different numbers, but I don't know if I have a 14 year. Gosh, now you got me thinking. I don't know that I have a 14 year.
I think we've got like 12, and like our oldest that we've had is like 18.
We've had the 27 from
Oh,
Redbreast.
well, I forgot about that one.
But-
That one. That's a special case.
I've got that
Yeah,
one. I've got 13 years, and I've got 16 years and 15. I don't have any 14.
Yeah, I feel like when we saw it, we thought, oh, that's really old. And then, the more I think about like that climate and stuff, it just seemed about average to me, but it sure tastes above average though.
Thank
There we
you,
go.
Mr. Gunderson. You're right. Napoe Castle has a 14 year. Yes, they do.
Okay.
I
There's always
prefer
someone in the chat
16,
that
so
knows stuff.
I have the 16. I like that one. I just forgot all about the 14 because they have a 12 and a 14.
Yeah.
Major Zero, you'll have to let me know what you like, and we'll definitely point you in the right direction. So, do you guys have a lot of Irish whiskey, or is this?
We have a shelf.
Yeah, we probably have 15, 20 bottles.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, we've got a lot of the Redbreast line.
I think all of them except for the 21 year.
Yeah. There's some of the Spots, some Bushmills, some Jamesons.
It's probably it.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
we haven't done a whole lot of exploration in the Irish, and I don't know why, because we always seem to like Irish, and it was probably the Jameson and ginger that started our whole whiskey journey.
I think it's just there's so much whiskey out there. It's hard to buy them all.
It is.
Oh yeah, yeah. The bourbon's cutting into my Irish budget.
Yes.
Oh, we have a Middleton. I see
Oh, yeah.
she's got one behind her, so I recognize that box.
Yep, we have that.
Oh yeah, that's the 2020.
I think ours is 2021.
Something
I
that.
like
Yep.
that one. I liked
Pretty
that
good.
one. I like the 2022 as well. I bought that one because that was Brian Nation's last year before he hightailed it to O'Shaughnessy.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason I have that one. They're good for special occasions. And you know, I think it's a good bottle to have. It's not one that I go out and get every year from though.
Yeah, it's a bit on the spendier side as far as whiskeys go, but I think we were kind of sucked in by that beautiful presentation.
Yeah. Now that is a cardboard box.
Now it is?
Now it is?
Yep. They changed
wow.
it into a fancy cardboard box. And they're going that way with the Redbreast 27 too. So I'm going to be curious to see how they're going to manage to get people to spend $700 on a 27-year-old bottle of whiskey that's in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wooden boxes really make a difference on those presentations.
Only slightly better than a paper sack.
Yeah. It's and they're saying they're doing it for sustainability. And I'm sure that's why they're doing it and not because of the weight of the boxes in shipping.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully going with cheaper packaging, they can drop the price a bit, but they probably won't.
I don't see that happening.
It didn't drop a dime.
Oh,
No,
geez.
it did not.
So you just save your fancy box if you ever get another bottle and just switch out the bottle.
There you go.
Yeah. And honestly, for the price, I would get Barry Crockett, which is another Middleton product. It's roughly about the same price. It usually maybe has like $30 or $40 more.
Mhm.
It's a single pot still instead of the blend, but it's also a little bit higher ABV. It's 46%.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen it, we've considered it, but then it's a high price and we don't know enough about it to really get it.
I am out of a bottle of it right now myself, and it's just I can't get myself to pull the trigger when there's so many new ones that are releasing nonstop. I just was online Friday suffering through trying to get a new bottle of Irish whiskey.
Mm.
Where do you normally get yours from? Do you get it from Ireland, shipped over here, or do you find them here?
I find some here. I'll hit you up offline. I've also been fortunate. I have friends that, you know, travel over there regularly and will get me things. So the one I bought on Friday was a release over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And there was less than 200 bottles. It was a 2 stacks raspberry brandy cast finish. And there were less than 200 bottles and 1,000 people probably trying to get on the website all at the same time, trying to get it. And I got lucky and I got through. And so I'm just waiting on it to arrive. So,
Well, that sounds fantastic. So
Yeah.
congrats on being one of the lucky people.
I heard it was really, really good. They do brandy finishes. So nice. Fred, you're exactly right there. Blue Spot is a great Irish whiskey. Redbreast cast strength, we are now starting to see B122 over here. It's not out everywhere yet, so make sure you check if you're looking at Redbreast cast strength to make sure the bottle is B122. I've heard that's a really good batch. I have B121. I like it. It's not my favorite, but
Yeah, so we had no idea that those had batch numbers on them until we saw you on with Independent Joe. And then I had to go to my bottle and we have the same batch that you do. So
oh, okay, B121. It's not, I mean, I like it. It's not bad.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good step up from the standard Redbreast, I think.
Yeah. Cool Running. You know that is in my calendar marked already. I'll be getting that one. So John's Lane is releasing. For those of you guys who haven't heard, everybody loves John's Lane. Yeah, sorry, Sugar Kitty, I'm saying it. They're releasing a cast strength version on October 2nd. Now, right now, that's just in Ireland that they're releasing it. But everybody's hope is they keep saying it's a core lineup item. That it's going to be a new addition to the Powers lineup as a core lineup item. You know, common sense will tell you, then that means maybe it'll get to the States. So everybody's hoping that it'll get to the States. They just told us about it this past week. We heard about it. So we shall see. If you are a member of my Patreon, you'll get first notice about it because I've already been plugging it to those guys. So they're in the know that this is coming and how many and where it's going. And
Nice. Nice.
all right. So I am pouring my second one here. And I'm sorry, that's the dog with her shaky toy under me.
I was wondering what that was. I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe plastic.
One of those toys with beads in it that she shakes. So we are drinking the Nakaria. So this one is 14 years and finished in Oloroso sherry casks. That first one was so good. I'm excited to try this one.
Yeah, that PX sherry, I think, added a layer of sweetness to that one.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was getting the chocolatey note from.
Oh, this one's smelling pretty darn good too.
This one smells really similar. And I must all those the floral notes that I was getting, that's had to have been coming off that Oloroso.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm getting
This one's
more
getting a little
of that
green apple.
floral.
Yeah, I don't get so much honeydew on this one.
I get a little green apple, almost like with Green Spot. There is some honey. There is some tropical notes there too, though.
Yeah, but I feel like not quite as much of the tropical notes that I was getting on the first one.
Yeah, it's a little less.
It's so hard to. I'm gonna have to go with
Some
honey
oaky
and
notes.
what were that? Honey and
Green apple and honey.
I'm getting a little green apple on this one. Green apple, almost like a little lemon. That's nice. Now, I get the oak more in this one.
This one feels a little more viscous in my mouth
Yeah.
than the last one.
Ooh, 14-year rum.
Mm. I feel like
Red
it might
recipe.
even be a little more spicy.
Yeah, I mean, same proof, but
No,
I'm
like on my
definitely
tongue.
feeling a little spicier on the tongue and even like down my chest here.
I am getting a little more spice on this one, and I think it's the wood influence coming through a little more. Remy, take your time. Come on.
Yeah, and this one for me is a little bit of bitterness on the finish, where the last one was more sweet oak on the finish.
Yeah. Which that's probably it's the PX is a very, very sweet sherry to finish.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
Andy, I can. I'll put the names of the bottles in here because that's I do want everybody to know about this one because this is one you can get in the US.
Yeah, so it says it was matured for 11 years in ex-bourbon American oak casks and then finished for 3 years in Oloroso sherry. So I don't know that I'm getting too much of that bourbon influence necessarily. The sherry.
I think the lemon and the tropical note that I'm getting, I get that on a lot of bourbon cask finishes.
Okay.
But on the palate, I mean, you can tell that that's been in some good casks for a good amount of years.
Mm. It's like making my mouth water.
Yeah, there's a dryness
Mhm.
that comes
Yeah.
from those casks. I'm enjoying the heck out of that one.
Yeah, I was thinking almost like a little bit of like bitter on the end, but like it's enjoyable because it balances it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad bitter.
Yeah.
No, it's tannic. It's from the wood.
Hmm.
And it's just a little bit dry. It's more drying than the first one was. I still
Yeah.
get the almond. Not as much as the first one, though. But you're right. The sweetness, all that honey and chocolatey and citrus, it's toned down. You don't get that with this. You still get some
Yeah.
honey.
I actually am getting a little bit of tobacco on the late finish on this guy, and I don't know that I've ever got that on an Irish.
not a
I'm
common
definitely
milk.
getting like some of the almost peaches. I think it's apricot.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
And I like that about this. So I am noticed. I don't like. It's funny. I'm weird about whiskey. Some of the stuff I like, I'm like, wow, it's really dry, and I really like that. And other stuff, and like, well, that's just dry and spicy. I don't like it. But this one, it's really nice. That dryness, that just, and I think it just because it balances out the sweetness so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the same
Oh,
thing.
bitter.
Normally, when I say bitter, I don't like it, but I like how the bitter
Mm.
influences this.
Yeah. Long finish on this.
Yeah.
Long finish on this. This is a bottle I would buy, and probably will. That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if these bottles are anywhere other than Total Wine. That's the only place we've seen them.
I have seen them listed a couple other stores. I'm not sure how many states they're in. But they're in the US. If they're at Total Wine, they're probably at all Total Wine stores.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or a good bulk of them, which they're, what's that, 125 stores, 100 stores nationwide.
Yeah. One thing that we found pretty interesting, these were bottled in 2018 and they were a run of 6,000. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much of that is left out there.
I wouldn't think that much, but then their website is also showing that they have like a set of 3 mini bottles of this that people can
Oh.
buy. So
They
I
do.
don't know. Maybe they just have a bunch of extra laying around or something.
They do. Yeah, they still have all of these. Because I checked out some places I order from. And I'm like,
Okay.
The other thing about Irish is sometimes the price tag scares people off. And unfortunately, it's not a cheap thing to get here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they were released as an
Oh.
Ireland. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I said, "Oh my God, stupid dog!" Like all the toys he has to play with right now.
Yeah. So I think originally this was an Ireland only release. And I don't know what like the average cost of whiskey in Ireland is, if maybe the price tag scared some of them away from buying it, but I would think that small of a release would sell quickly. Was it just a limited distribution even in Ireland?
No, it wasn't. But there's a lot of different whiskey in Ireland. Hold on, I'll tell you how much this stuff is right now. Actually, 'cause
Well,
I
and
know
it was
that still does have it.
a new brand also. So high
It's
price tag, new brand.
It's a new brand, and again, over there, I mean, there are over 40 operating distilleries right now in Ireland. That's not including all of the ones that are sourcing whiskey, the whiskey bonders. I mean, you're talking almost probably around 70, I think, at last count. So there's just so many. You're going to start seeing a lot of just random brands sitting on shelves. And usually, what I tell people about Irish whiskey, if you're picking up, some inexpensive budget bottle, flip it over and read the story on the back. The more elaborate the story, the more it's just a sourced bottle, and it probably isn't that great. So
that makes sense. I feel like that's the same a lot of times with bourbon too.
So
yeah,
this
they
one,
all have a cool story.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is still 145 euro, which actually for 14 year, that's not bad at all. So I'm going to be putting that on my save list. Wow, it's so good. I really like that. So yeah, if you're a fan of one that's got more woody notes, has that, more wood influence, cask influence, the Knockeria.
Yeah, I would concur with that statement.
I like that one.
It's quite good.
The first one was good. It was sweeter, but this one is very good. Cheers, Five Fingers. It's good to see you. Let me know what you guys are drinking. I saw a couple of you guys are drinking some really good stuff. Shredward says Hyde number 6 President's Reserve is fantastic for the price. That's another brand, that I haven't really gotten into, but I have tried one of them. I was excited because this one I've tried nothing.
I was kind of surprised when we reached out and you're like, nope, haven't had that one. So, okay, stand by.
And I've seen it. I've seen people drinking it. Some of my friends have posted about it online, and I was super excited. I was surprised. Now you guys are located in Pacific Northwest, is that right?
Yeah, Washington State.
Okay. So you definitely get different stuff than we might have here. It's some states they do not get a lot. God help you in Arkansas. You guys don't get much Irish whiskey. Don't get the Lucky Good Jameson.
Yeah, I hear Arkansas doesn't get a good selection of anything.
Sounds a bit more expensive than Scotch at that age. Yeah. The thing about this one is though, it's not an independent distillery anymore. At the time they made it, it was an independent distillery, but now that it's been purchased by Sazerac, but still at the, the stuff you're going to buy from the smaller independent distillers, I mean, you're supporting a small company. So those tend to be a little pricier. It's really not that bad for Irish. I'm trying to think of what Redbreast 15 is right now. I think it's around $125.
Yeah, so that's not that far off.
No, I don't think it's not that far off.
I wasn't mad about paying what we paid for it.
Plus you got the finishing cask.
No,
I've
got it on my list to pick up a bottle. It's a really good one. Macallan 12 Double Oak here. Yeah, Major Zero is Macallan guy.
He takes every opportunity to shout it out too.
Yeah. I you know what? I can't give you any crap about it because I think everybody who knows me is sick to death of hearing about Culloden.
Adam Major Zero is a great guy, so we give him a lot of hard times about his Macallan.
He's a super guy. Super guy. Hey, Isaiah, I did not see you in here. Cheers to you. Cheers, Samoan Barkeep. I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome.
Well, he's another Washington guy, so
yeah,
it's nice to see him.
Oh, nice.
He's from our neck of the woods. Yeah, he's a great guy too.
I watched the, was it Washington State football game that was on last night? I was watching that one.
Wisconsin,
they
Washington
played,
State.
Wisconsin. And they beat them, and they did great.
They did. I watched that game. I'm a big college football fan, so all my footballs watched on Saturday. And I was like, it's like a good game. I'm gonna watch it.
Yep, that's the same with us. We watch a lot of college football, and we don't watch any NFL or anything. So Sundays are our relaxing day.
This is usually when I edit.
Yeah, I'm a Browns fan, but I'm not missing much by not watching those games. All right, so we're going to move on to our third sample here, which is Athru Keshkorin. So this is a single malt finished in Tokai casks. I am super excited because this is the second Irish whiskey I have seen finished in Tokai casks.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite of the group. I don't want to influence anybody here, but I'm a big Tokai fan, so.
Okay, that'll help me in what I send you guys because I have Dublin Liberty's Murder Lane. It's a 13-year single malt finished in Tokai.
Oh, excited to try that.
Well, that one smells really good.
I'm guessing he's talking about mixing Macallan with Coke.
Yeah. 18-year actually. He mixed 18-year with Coke.
There you go. So Cool Runnings says the Knockeria is 115 pounds at his local. Okay, wait, I got to do the conversion because pounds always kills me.
Yeah, I don't know any of these conversions.
I found it out when I bought a bottle of whiskey on Friday that it's a bit different. So yeah, 143.50. So about
That tracks.
That's
Yeah,
the
you're-
prices here.
yeah. Euro to dollar is not bad. I mean, it's almost even. Pound, oof, man. Pound hurts a little bit sometimes.
Man, I love the smell of this.
Hi, casks. Hey, thank you, Sugar Kitty. You know, though, I think it's misspelled actually on my Double Liberties bottle too. I think they threw an I in there as well.
What does it say on here?
This is spelled with an I as well.
Tokaji.
Yeah, I think one is the tree and one is the wine or something like that. I don't know. Sugar Kitty, I bet knows. It's
Oh,
not
see, I just-
super wine. Okay, yeah. So this one is Kesh Korin.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm reading on their website, and it says it takes its name from the mystical fairy mountain near Sligo, the reputed birthplace of King Cormac. So, yeah, they have nice little stories with all of these. It's
I
kind
love
of
that, and they're real like Irish folktales. And I think King Cormac was the one that had the hounds, if I'm remembering right.
I'm
that
not sure.
No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. No, that wasn't him. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, I've been trying to spell the whiskey Culloden and can't find it. There you go. Gandhi knows me well enough to know how to spell it. Culloden. The Culloden is the smallest distillery in Ireland. They literally, I think, have a group of maybe 3-4 people.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty small to be.
Most
making it
people's their distillery is about the size of most people's 2-car garage. It's very, very small.
Wow.
I don't even think it's that big. Yeah, it's very small. And he doesn't fill the casks all the way.
What would be the purpose of that? Not filling them all the
He
way.
thinks more air helps the whiskey mature
Okay.
better and age and finish better. So he doesn't. He says he's the worst investment ever. I mean, he readily admits it. He's like, I'm the worst investment you could ever make because I'm not even filling the casks all the way.
So when they don't fill them all the way, do they rotate them more often, or?
He does. He rotates them. He does crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but I know you've heard me preach before about this, but he does things like he'll roll the cask or the mash bin out, and you'll see on some of his whiskey. It's called like natural or domestic yeast. And like, what is that? Oh, I just roll it out and let nature take its course.
Okay.
And I mean, okay. Yeah, he'll just, if he thinks, it'd be better outside, it's a nice sunny day, he'll roll a cask outside and at the end of the day, roll it back inside.
Well, if you're small enough, I
He
guess
does.
you can do that.
He does everything by taste. Nothing's measured except for the measurements he has to turn in for the government. But yeah, it's some amazing whiskey, but I mean, there's a reason why it's a little pricey. But the bourbon Nephi, I was on a pick back in July with a whiskey that was finished, and he took high cask. I thought that is good.
We have a rye finished in it, and it's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
So
Yes, they do have a peated one. They have several peated whiskeys. The color on this is really pretty. It's almost got like a little bit of a peach hue to it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that reaction.
Oh my goodness, that's desserty.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
Yeah, I think this fits more into that honey, and you kind of
Honey.
get a little butter cookie and maybe pear.
There's honey and pears and cookies. Smells like apricots.
Yep.
Hey, Mark. Cheers, Northwest Bourbon. Oh, that smells good.
I couldn't wait. Had to jump in and take a taste.
My mouth was watering just smelling it.
I mean, it does. It does smell like, you're ending your meal like a fancy restaurant, nice dessert.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice, and that's got a lot more spice than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's very well balanced between the spice and the sweet.
It is. It hits you right at the front of your palate with the sweetness.
Hmm.
I'm getting, yeah, the apricot, honey. It's a little bit of like a cookie.
Yeah,
Look,
I
look.
definitely get that, like a butter cookie kind
It
of.
reminds me kind of like a flaky, like the flaky pastry crust.
Mm.
With like some of that dried fruit on it.
Yeah. Kind of like strudel, like that pastry
Yes.
strudel crust. And then there's some woodiness, and at the end, that there's a nice bit of spice on that.
It's crazy how different these these 3 bottles are.
They're vastly different. And it's surprising because the first 2 are finished, and one of the casts is the same, but they're totally different.
Hmm.
This one's kind of like in the middle of the other 2. Like it still has a sweetness, and it's got a little bit of the dryness and the spiciness, but it kind of fits between the 2.
Yeah, I don't know that it has as long of a finish as the second one, but it still has a decent finish.
Yeah, it has a nice, good long finish to it. This is a good one if you're looking for one pour, after a meal at the end of your night. I could pour this and just sit with it and be completely good to go.
Yeah, this is what do they call it? The Friday night pour. This would be a good Friday night pour.
Yeah. Hello, Wanderer. It's good to see you. Yeah, this one, this is that one when you just want to sit with something and kind of deconstruct it. There's a lot going on here.
It's a lot that I'm liking.
My tiny little splash might not have been enough. I might have to have another little splash later.
At the beginning is when I'm getting that more of that honey pastry,
Mm-hmm.
and like the dried cherries, like the darker fruit.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
And then I'm getting kind of the woodiness, and then that baking spice at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely a little peppery on the finish.
Yeah, pepper, or I don't think it's clove. More like allspice.
Sure.
Nice spicy allspice.
I get more of the feeling than the flavor of the spice. So whatever one gives me that tingling.
Have you ever baked and used too much? Because I've used too much cinnamon before in something, and I'm like, ooh, you don't really. I mean, you don't think cinnamon's spicy. Because it's cinnamon roll. I'm like, yeah, it's not spicy. Oh yeah, used too much. Yeah, it's spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it to you. Anthony, if you're still in chat, let me know if you're going live tonight. I did not see your thumbnail, so I wasn't sure. I haven't mentioned it.
Is that someone that goes live after you a lot of nights?
Bourbon Neophyte typically goes live. It's midnight my time, which would be, is that 9:00 for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he goes live at that time. I'm usually just awake long enough to jump in and say hi and peace out, but wasn't sure if he was going live tonight. I know Livewire Whiskey, they are going live tonight at 9:00. Shayla is going to be there. She is co-hosting, and they're having a Scotch night.
Oh.
Well, that sounds fun. Transition to from Irish to Scotch later.
Sure. We can just do the whole European tour.
I love world whiskey. There's just so much variety. I mean, these three are so good. I can see why you guys picked these up.
Yeah, like I said, the first one was we kind of took a chance on it and got it home, and it was so good that we finished the series. It was just really impressed with
I
these
can
guys.
see why. I can see why. Oh no, it's got cleaning of the room on the shelves. I've got room for 3 to 4 more Irish on 3 more. Oh, you've got some good stuff you could get.
There's so many good bottles.
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot. Chris and Lil are in Vegas right now. Livewire doing Scotch. I wonder if he found a Lowland. Somebody will have to explain that one.
I'm not an expert. I don't know.
It's one of
I'm
the,
not an expert on Scotch at all. I mean, we have a few. My husband has. I got him a Scotch Malt Whiskey Society membership because he's a Scotch fan, and I bought him a bottle, but most of the Scotch he drinks is peated, so we need some more variety in our Scotch collection. It's just like peat, not peated.
I think now I realize why we stopped buying Irish whiskey, because I wanted to try a bunch of different world whiskeys, and so then we got Japanese whiskeys, and we started getting Scotch, and there's just we got some Welsh whiskey, and we got German whiskey.
Yeah.
Tried stuff from all over the place. That's why.
Yeah, we had a little tour of the world.
I have a Swedish whiskey that I really like, and I'm like, I want to get into this and get more, and I realized, yeah, I can't afford to get more than one category, really deep into more than one category of world whiskey. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Definitely want a Powers Rye. Not sure what else. Powers Rye is so flipping good. Unfortunately, we decided to make some Powers Rye Old Fashions yesterday, and there's about that much left in the bottle. So I'm going to have to go out and get another bottle for a backup to my backup.
Oh,
which
see,
it's a good deal.
Eric Gunderson's talking about India and whiskey. Yeah, we have stuff from India too.
The Amaranth Fusion is really good. Yeah, wow. So I heard you talking about the Powers Rye on your last, I don't know if it was a live stream or a video, but I heard you talking about it. Yeah. And when I was out and about yesterday, I looked for it. I couldn't find it, but it's now on my shopping list as well.
It's a good one. I mean, it's like $30. And it's so good. I did like a full video of it. It's kind of, it reminds me of banana bread with like a little bit of a mint, and there's a good amount of clove in it, but it's not like American rye. It's really soft and kind of lighter and well-rounded. You still get the sweet notes and the cookie-ish notes in it, but it's really good. Andrew Butler has whiskeys from 31 countries. Holy flippin' cannoli.
Oh, then we've got Australia too.
Wow.
Now that I'm thinking about it, we have quite a few.
We've got about 8 countries.
Yeah, not 31.
31 is insane.
Yeah, cheers, Cheese Ardelino. It is good to see you.
We've got something to strive for.
Again, yeah, I can't. Because the Irish whiskey that one of the brands I like also had some Netherlands releases. Well, let me tell you. You buy whiskey from the Netherlands a couple times, they will email you to let you know when there are new releases coming for Irish whiskey in the Netherlands, and they will offer to put a couple bottles aside for you.
Oh, wow.
And then you say, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, back to Ireland, then to get it to you. So.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine what the shipping for that would cost.
Not fun. But it sounds... It was pineapple brandy cask finish, and then a black strap rum single malt. I'm like, yes, I'll take one.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I like all those fruity brandy finishes. I think I've read articles that said it's like cheating and basically flavoring whiskey, but I don't care.
They're wrong.
It tastes good.
So they're wrong. It's not. Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about Irish whiskey is like it doesn't have to be, there's nothing in the laws that says it has to be in a use bourbon cask. It can be in any kind of cask that held alcohol, and it can be finished in any kind of cask that held alcohol. So there's just so much room for variety when you do that. I mean, you got stuff like, you know, the PX and the Oloroso and the Tokai, and like I will be hand delivering you some apple brandy and some cherry brandy and
That sounds so
We're
good.
excited about that.
ice wine, and yeah. You got, yeah, there's all kinds of cask finishes. I've got like mulberry wood. Method Madness is a good brand. That one's in the US. If you're looking for an Irish whiskey that's going to give you atypical notes from what you typically expect. Method Madness, because they have a single pot still and it's finished in French chestnut. Well, I get notes of like, it reminds me of freaking Twizzlers, like you go to the movie theater and get it's strawberry.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's strawberry and that waxy fruit, and it's really, really good. But it's just not what you typically expect with a single pot still Irish whiskey.
Mhm.
It's totally different.
And that's
Hey,
called
you're
Method
on the road.
of
Maybe I
Madness.
should see you. Method in Madness.
Okay.
Well, you're in charge. Hold on.
She's hopefully showing us the bottle. Oh, I gotta.
Oh,
Yeah.
here she comes.
This is actually the mulberry wood, but they look like this.
Oh, okay.
All of the bottles
Okay.
look like that.
Okay, I'll put it in my notes here of things I need to look for.
Yeah. Adding that to the shopping list.
Like we don't have enough on the list.
Even AMSMR, he says that mulberry finish is good. It is. It's the first Irish whiskey that I've gotten paprika.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
an interesting
totally
note.
different. And I
Yeah.
got it because we have mulberry trees in our backyard.
Okay.
So I keep telling my
I-
husband, I'm like, you know, when one of those trees gets a little older, chop that sucker down and we'll have a cask.
Yeah, I have a mulberry tree as well, but the deer really like that tree. So,
Oh
you
my gosh, I know,
maybe
right?
someday I'll get a fruit on it, but for now, it's food for the deers.
I never get to actually try the mulberries because I would have to get a ladder out to get the ones that the deer can't reach.
Oh. Yeah, here we would be fighting with the birds over those ones.
Yep.
The deer on the ground and the birds are the high ones. There's
Yeah.
nothing left for us.
Andrew, the Swedish whiskey I have is not a rye. It is a Macmira single malt that was done for Belfast Whiskey Week a couple years ago. It was like 2021, actually. Didn't think it's been that long, but it's really good. I really like it. I'm not really sure what it's finished in, to be honest. Hey, Sparky 2416. Cheers to you. Just got home from work. What I missed. Well, we'll start over.
Okay, let's pour some more.
Yeah, we'll just pour these all again.
I got a whole 2 ounces. How long? We're always good.
We got half a bottle.
Oh, thank you, Gandhi. Yeah, you know, my Irish whiskey list keeps growing too. It gets a little nuts.
I think
I've
with
got the
every day that
Hungarian version
passes,
oak finished. Method Madness. That's
Oh.
one I think that one sold out before I could get it. The Wild Cherrywood's probably the favorite that I have. That one just, it reminds me of fall because it's tastes like an orchard. You know, you taste like a little bit of grassy notes and apples and pears and a little bit of woodiness. The deer
that
eat our
sounds
garden.
enjoyable.
Yeah, the deer eat. The
Yeah,
deer
we
have
had to
been,
put up an
deer and rabbits been doing
8-foot
damage.
fence.
Well, what do you? So, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. What do you have coming up? When's your next stream? What you got going on?
So we have videos coming out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be live again on Saturday night with Justin from Whiskey Tears.
Mhm.
And
Oh, great.
then the following Saturday, we're going to do like an Oktoberfest celebration. So
Yeah, so we'll get all dressed up, drink some German beer and maybe some German whiskey, and anyone that wants to come on can join us.
yeah, that'll be a hangout.
I can't wait to tune in for that one. I just volunteered Friday at Oktoberfest and poured beer for 5 hours in the sun.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of work dealing with drunk people wanting more
Oh,
beers.
I came home and I told my husband, I'm not doing crap tomorrow. I'm just telling you right now. At the bar right now. I'm not doing crap. Oh, you guys are very close to 1,000 subs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a great day yesterday. We got like 70 subscribers yesterday
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know where they came from, but I'm happy about
If
it.
one of my
So-
mods can drop the link to Baker Drinks, if you guys aren't subscribed to these guys, you're missing a real good time.
Yeah. And if you can figure out how the algorithm works to, one day you get 2 subs and the next day you get 70, let us know, because we'd like to do it the 70 way every time.
Oh, Jamie, I'll reach out to you. I would love to have you guys on and send you some whiskey. I would love that. I'll reach out to you. Hey, cheers, Bourbon Note.
Great.
Good to see you guys. Cheers, Skippy Fab.
Cheers to all you guys.
Gonna check you guys out. I'm the worst
Appreciate
person
that.
to tell you about algorithms, so because I joke around. All the time about it. I'm like, Irish whiskey is more of a niche market, kind of just a smaller audience. So I joke all around. I'm like, I'm big in March. So
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you
I'll be
are.
really exciting in March.
Everyone's gonna be checking your channel, seeing what you're drinking, so they know what to pick up for their parties.
Yeah, I celebrate actually, let's be real, I celebrate like starting in like January is what we consider green season, because it's just leading up to St. Patrick's Day. But yeah,
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
We need a
Here's
couple
bourbon
month
school.
celebration.
Yeah. Hey,
so
Brian.
next week I'm going to be doing another pub style celebration, because it's, like I was saying earlier, if you missed it, it's halfway to St. Patrick's Day, officially September 17th. We are halfway there. So make sure you tune in. We're going to have a really good time. We're just going to hang out for a while until I get unable to do it or my husband gets mad at me. So, the other. So my husband, because we can't, unfortunately, he can't play the PlayStation while I'm streaming. So we're working on that. Sorry, honey. But make sure you guys tune in next week. And then I think it's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going to have to check my calendar. On the night, is it the 19th? No, it's the 26th. The 26th, I'm going to be a guest on Scotch on the Bayou with Leanne, which I am really excited about that, to talk about some Irish whiskey influences in American whiskey. So
That sounds
we're going to
fun.
have Leanne is such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart. So, there we go. We got James dropping. Thank you, James, for dropping the link in there. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And it looks like you got a couple more subs.
Nice.
That's
Thank
awesome.
You.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Closer to
you.
1,000. Thank you guys all for joining me tonight. Again, make sure you check out all these other great channels. We got Livewire going live tonight. It's Bourbon Night, I think, is going live tonight. So I will see you all next week. Sláinte. Everybody have a good
Cheers.
week.